All right, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
We're talking college football, quarterbacks, coaches, all kind of stuff.
Lots of it. Like, subscribe, comment.
Follow.
The kids are playing their tail off, and the coaches are screwing it up.
And they run through our ass like shit through a tin horn, man, and we could not stop them.
We failed to make our coaching points and our points more compelling than their fat little girlfriends.
Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
Hello and welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football podcast. Hi, Casey.
Hi, Brandon.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. You got something to say?
Hello, Katie.
Hello.
High Noon is back.
I'm so excited. I wore a shirt on the occasion.
She's wearing a Nooner shirt, so it is Unnecessary Roughness presented by High Noon Hard Seltzers. And last week, Katie really did me a solid. Jack, you'd be so proud of her. She walked my son in a stroller around Manhattan because I went to the High Noon Tequila pop-up. They had like a city pop-up thing, and it was last minute for me, and I didn't have somebody to watch him, so Katie did it for me so I could go talk to the people about High Noon Tequila.
For a straight hour, I basically was monologuing to the kid. It was like, don't wake up, because if you cry, I'm going to cry, and that's not going to go well. For a straight hour.
You would have handled it well if she cried.
Yes.
Oh, she would have got a phone call very quickly.
Yeah, no, but
You would have been good, though.
Yeah, she would have been great. He slept the whole time, but I got to go in with Kelly Keegs to like a VIP look at the tequila seltzer pop-up, which was great. I know the next day was open to the public, but it was the first time I had one of the tequilas. I had the lime. It was really good. And I'm a vodka person. I love the vodka. We know how I feel about the peach. But the lime tequila was very good.
Peach will always hold a special place in my heart.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the best.
But lime is next to grapefruit for me. It's peach, and then grapefruit, lime are the next two.
Really?
Yeah.
People
Peach,
like the
lime.
strawberry a lot, too.
Strawberry's good. I also I'm probably the highest on black cherry. I like black cherry the most out of this group, but I like all the flavors, especially the peach. And the lemon. The lemon's good.
The lemon's like sneaky hard to find sometimes, but I will say black cherry is on the power rankings last for me, and it's still really good. But we all know I love the peach. They have the big cans for the summer. They have the big cans pineapple too.
With the big opening.
Yeah.
Big opening,
Yeah,
big cans.
and then you can push it back because like if you're walking around with it, maybe you
resealable.
had a darty or something.
Big cans for the big cans.
Yes.
Sorry.
I mean, and Katie, just now we were outside talking to some of our branding people, and she brought up big cans and big cans for me to be in a bathtub again. So that's still happening. High Noon is back.
Works.
You guys know where to find them. Go to Drizzly, liquor store. Of course, if you want to go at High Noon
Literally
Spirits.
everywhere.
They're everywhere. And they have been everywhere since we started talking about them. It's the Barstool difference. We love High Noon, and we're back. We're back, baby. We're back.
And we're one step closer to football season.
Football season's coming, Brandon.
Yes, it is. Football season is coming.
100 days until...
It's only 100 days?
Well, now
Really?
it's 99.
94.
Wait,
This morning it's 94.
No, but that's the fake day.
Fair.
Week
But
zero
there are
counts.
some week zero counts. Okay, sorry, 94. She's right.
Yeah.
99. UConn plays NC State at the rent.
Okay.
They do. Get ready to take the
You're
points,
counting down
buddy.
to your own season. They open
No,
on Thursday?
they did like a big Instagram post
Do they open on Thursday?
Thursday night.
Okay. So you're going straight to your team's game, skipping week 0.
Katie was right.
We always have week 0.
So the first Saturday then, if yours is 99, would be 101.
Yes.
So
Week
we're right
one,
at 100
yes.
days.
Yes.
Week 0 sucks,
But we love it when it comes.
but it is like we're walking through the desert, and it's a sip of water.
Are there any good weeks? Is Notre Dame playing someone in week?
Yes.
In Ireland.
Who are they playing?
Navy. It's Hawaii, Vanderbilt, San Jose State, USC, Navy, Notre Dame in Dublin, UMass, New Mexico State, Ohio, San Diego State, UTEP, Jacksonville State, and FIU, Louisiana Tech.
Not great, Bob.
No, not great.
But I will say Jacksonville State's an interesting team this year with Rich Rod coming up to the FBS. They're the teams that have come up from the FCS this year are a few very good FCS teams.
I think if we were to do a time machine episode, and you could give
Rich Rod, yeah.
you could give any team, any school in this country a time machine, or any coach in this country, and get back together, I think West Virginia and Rich Rod would never break up.
It's one of the greater what ifs ever because it led to a million things. Pittsburgh,
Led to Saban going to Alabama, right?
yeah, and then also it led to Terrell Pryor would have gone to West Virginia because he loved Rich Rod so much. Instead, he goes to Ohio State. Obviously, the tattoo scandal. Tressel leaves. Urban Meyer like who knows?
Insane.
Right.
The tattoo scandal is still so funny to me.
Yes.
I
The
mean,
tattoo
it's
scandal
tattoos.
is officially in that realm of shit that just wouldn't matter at all.
At all.
At all.
Right?
I
Wouldn't,
mean-
wouldn't even be a page 6 story.
In fact, I would say now I'd be like, why weren't you getting free tattoos?
Correct. Yeah.
Why
Like-
why weren't
and
you?
even then, it was like
connected?
it was still, even though it was funny, Ohio State got in trouble. It was like
Come on.
all the things that are happening elsewhere. We're cracking down on free tattoos at Ohio State.
Also, that was probably the least valuable thing they got for free,
Yeah.
quote
Yeah.
unquote.
I mean,
And
tattoos
they
aren't
traded
expensive.
it
Well,
in
they can be,
value.
but
if you think of Tressel too, the fact that he never came back up,
I think, you
never
know
came back up to the big level.
You know what he does now?
What?
He's the head of Youngstown State as a school. I think he was more interested in being like admissions.
It's being an overseer of
Like
everything.
he's like the president of Youngstown State, I believe.
Huh. Youngstown
Not
State.
athletics, school.
tattoos, man.
Maybe he was just like, man,
Yeah.
I want to not. I'm done with this.
Made
Well,
my money.
as stupid as that sounds, that Jim Tressel is over a whole school. Tommy Tuberville is a United States senator. So
One of
Like he got elected.
if we want
100 people in this world.
right, one of 100 people in this world that are in
Tommy
the United States
Tuberville.
Senate. Tommy Tuberville is one of them. He wasn't even liked by his own school.
Never.
like I don't know how of all the coaches, nobody who ever employed him was like, man, what a guy. I love that guy.
And it's like, you know how some guys, they'll get fired? I think Derek Mason's a great example of it. Great human.
Yeah.
Just like
Right.
his
Didn't
football.
quite work out.
It didn't, but we'll love him forever here.
Yeah.
Derek Mason, we've said this on this podcast a million times, but he won SEC Media Days every year. Derek Mason had the best things to say on the podcast or the podium. Everybody liked him. He just couldn't win for shit.
Quick rabbit trail.
Okay.
Which coach in America would get the highest vote for U.S. senator in his state? The highest vote percentage.
That's easy.
No, it's not. You're
It's
going to say
easy.
you're going to say the wrong answer.
There's two options. It's a
You're
debate
both going to
between.
say the wrong answer.
How is my answer the wrong answer?
So you're either going to say Nick Saban or Dabo Swinney.
I'm
Well,
going to go
I
with
was
Dabo.
I was doing Nick or
You realize
Kirby.
that the majority of that state fucking hates him. Because it's the
But-
state of South Carolina. The University of South Carolina fans.
the right answer.
It's like how Coach K would not win North Carolina. Like his
Correct.
fans are in other states.
The only thing with Dabo, though, is it is a southern state, and there are a lot of Christians that might
Yeah,
not
but
care
those-
about football,
those
and that
Ga-
man...
Those Gamecock fans don't buy his
Let's
shit. They
let's
don't buy his
remember Herschel Walker almost won Georgia. There was a runoff. It was that close. I think Kirby would be a little bit
It has to
more
be.
liked than Herschel.
It's a one state school or one school state. So it has to be Ohio State's coach, LSU's coach, Nebraska's coach, something like that.
But do you think, and this is probably where I pick the fun out of this argument, don't you think that there are probably a lot of people in Atlanta that don't give a fuck about Kirby Smart?
Not. I think the majority of Georgians do give a fuck about
Okay.
it.
I think Dabo's got that Christian politician thing about him.
But
He is-
Kirby has it too. He could throw
People
that
mention
up.
South Carolina people, Gamecocks.
There's more Gamecocks in the world than Clemson Tigers.
100%.
So I don't think Dabo's gonna get through.
Now, if Steve Spurrier was still at South Carolina,
No.
could he have done it?
Then the Clemson, any of those.
But he
two
didn't
team
really
states,
win that much at
Those
South
two team
Carolina.
states are gonna. Well, he showed them what's possible, right? He won like 10 games, 11 games, 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
He's
but
getting
like
just so
number one
he won
recruit.
a natty in Florida. He
Right.
didn't win a natty in South Carolina.
Now,
Like I don't think of him as a
could
South
Steve
Carolina
Spurrier
coach.
in 1996 have run in Florida?
Yes.
That might be a better. Could Bobby Bowden have? That's a
Could
three-team
Nick
state.
Saban have done it in Baton Rouge?
Mm-mm.
The easiest place to do it in America would be as LSU's coach. The problem is no LSU coach has stayed long enough to be beloved enough to do it.
And they've all had scandals outside
Right.
of Nick because
Yeah.
he left.
Right.
So, Ohio, it could be done if you had a long-time beloved coach.
I think Urban could probably still win there.
Now he would be
Tommy
the
Tuberville did win in Alabama, and he coached Auburn.
The thing about Urban is I think he'd be so easy to do
Smear
political
campaign?
things against. Smear campaign.
Right. Well, that's also where who's knocking
I
right
don't
now?
know. Come in. What's up?
Hi.
Yeah. Well, maybe read the schedule, Joey.
Oh my god.
We love you.
Okay, Joey. Hey.
Here's the thing, then we can get off of this. I'm still sticking with Dabo because you just mentioned
It's not Dabo.
No, but listen.
It's not Dabo.
You mentioned Tommy Tuberville because here's the thing. It depends on who runs against Dabo, because there are going to
I'm
be
gonna
a
throw
lot
one
of
at
Bible-beating
I'm
people.
going to throw one at you.
Okay.
I think Harbaugh would win Michigan before Dabo would win South Carolina.
Yeah.
Michigan's a bigger school.
No, I see. I hate that I'm about to do this, and Jack is usually the person that does this. I think Harbaugh's politics don't necessarily fit with Ohio.
Well, he's
No,
in
they
Michigan.
do.
They do?
You're downplaying how conservative the state of Ohio is.
Okay. See,
Okay.
I,
Y'all keep. Oh,
Michigan.
Michigan,
Michigan.
I meant. Yeah, both states.
did I say Ohio?
Michigan has,
I meant Michigan.
Michigan has one of the crazy liberal governor though.
Yeah, Gretchen Whitmer
She's
is.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm Michigan, and then
Yeah.
Harbaugh said
I'm
some
not going
things.
to say anything.
Yeah, no. Anyways,
Okay.
the easy
All
answer is
time, I think the biggest walk ever would have been Joe Pa and before the scandal, Joe Pa in Pennsylvania. You telling me in 1995?
They elected somebody that can't he can't put on clothes.
All right, Jack. Just
See,
what was
I
with
messed
that
up.
picture?
Dude, we shouldn't say a lot. There's like a flickering light. Did you see that?
That one over there.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
It's-
we got a
it's
lot of
flickering
college football to
'cause
talk about. We're
there's
dicking
politics.
When
There's
you look up,
politics happening.
when you look up to those lights, they really
They're awful. Yeah.
like. I look at the sun, and it doesn't hurt me
Do
as
you
much.
think you're tougher than the sun? The fucking sun?
No, I look at the sun all the time.
Did you like that?
I did. Nice Barstool callback.
What's on your shirt? Is that a Bieber song?
It is.
Was it
Well,
MGK
VGS.
or?
Also, Casey, you're
Hamilton?
looking great.
Thank
Thank you, Jack.
And you look great when you came back in. However, it seems like you're just, working along.
I love when Jack starts talking and Brandon's like, keep going.
I should have just stepped that. You're looking
Just
right.
right there.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
over.
No, but I will say it is tough to give opposite sex compliments.
Yeah,
like
but
in this office,
Especially
and not
after
have it-
having a kid. I mean,
Yeah.
it completely changes the body.
But here's the thing. I appreciate what he's saying because it means that he notices that I'm working out a lot.
Hey, so you are looking good.
He doesn't count when you say it because Jack said it first.
No, he was. No, I almost lied for Brandon there, but I couldn't even get it out. I was like, he's been telling me, yeah, you've been looking good, but that also would have been
That would
weird.
have been really
Yeah.
creepy and weird.
You know who else couldn't get it out?
Oh no. Pull out. Get
Okay,
out.
let's go. College football.
College football. Thank you, Colin. I
By the
like
way-
Colin in here. Colin's laughing a lot.
Noah's out this week. We have Colin,
Yep.
University
Hi,
of Alabama.
Colin.
Well,
Well, yes.
all right, hold on.
Roll Tide.
Before y'all start with that shit, I've got to ask because I know one of you has. You got a report on the Bama Rush doc?
Oh,
Okay.
It's so. You go first.
Jack,
It'll be
I
better.
haven't
Are you going investigative
I've
journalist on
watched it.
this?
I haven't watched it yet. I was gonna watch
Jack
it.
lives it.
I was gonna watch it after today. I heard it's a flop.
You should do.
Did you watch it?
I watched like half of it last night. I lived it. I was in
Yeah, he
Greek
actually-
life there.
yeah.
I was Delta Chi down there, but I only made it halfway through. What? What's
Brandon
wrong with
just
that?
He
rolled
just
his
rolled his eyes.
Did you have to fluff the football players on Saturday morning? Was that your responsibility? What
Was
did you have to
not.
do? Did you have to buff their cars?
Were you too poor to go in Greek life, Brandon?
Whoa!
No. I don't want to do that. You had to pay for your friends.
Colin will fit right in here.
That was good. That was
Yes.
a nice little jab. He jabbed you.
It's playful jabs.
By the way, I know you didn't see this. I don't even think you saw it. Our infamous guest came at me on TikTok again.
Oh, that it is?
Yeah. I just didn't even
What did he
respond.
say?
He said some really mean things.
About you?
Yeah.
Fuck him.
And then that sucks because you were the one that fought for him. You were the one that went out and got him.
I know.
He turned on you?
I know, yeah.
He's not. Whatever. He's a nothing.
For the Bama Rush thing, I honestly think, Jack, you could probably do like a 4-part series on information and get more views. It's a fluff piece about sitting in, and about fitting in, not sitting
Time
in.
out. Real quick. We could release that and he'd be canceled from the internet in 5 minutes.
I know.
He'd be canceled. He'd be done.
The issue is I was gonna respond with it,
Yeah.
but then my account will get flagged
Right.
first,
Yeah.
so it's like
He would be he could be done on the internet if we release that.
I know.
Continue. Sorry.
It's a fluff piece about fitting in. The director puts herself way too much into it, and I feel bad. She has alopecia, so you're gonna see a lot
I
of
don't
jokes
care
about that.
I'm gonna be
But it's
honest.
she makes it too much about herself. So basically, she says that because I went through my life with alopecia, I never fit in because I always had to wear a wig. This was me masking.
You can't grow hair.
Yeah.
Charlie Villanueva.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
National
she was like,
champ.
I felt like I rushed because I had to fit in too. And she basically draws a parallel to her life and every single girl everywhere going through Rush. That's a storyline.
I
It's
think-
not
I thought it
the
was going to be
drama.
like a salacious,
So they talk
bullshit.
about the
I
machine
think-
for 2 seconds and anything like a
What
30
about race?
Yes, they talk about how they just integrated.
I think
but
Greek life
very
is
surface
in
level.
college, and Greek life in colleges might be the dumbest thing we do as a society. I don't understand it. College itself should be a secret society that you're involved in and everything. I don't know why we have these things.
It's okay. Like, the reason I like UNC is because you could be part of Greek life, but you could still go to Greek life stuff without being part of it. It wasn't a whole exclusive club.
Everybody went to frat parties and sorority parties.
But no, I think it's certain like SEC schools. You can only go if you're in it.
Alabama's like that. Auburn's like that.
So yeah, UNC was very open. So
like when I watch an Auburn game and I see those dickhead freshmen sitting there in their little suits holding sections for I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
I was friends with the older kids who were in the fraternity.
Yeah.
So I was always
like, what are you doing with
pride.
You never take it too seriously there. The kids who are like that take it too seriously, and then the end, you all just end up in the same spot anyway. So it's like,
that is true.
If you really try, then you're gonna make it even harder.
If I showed up, if I rushed and then the first football Saturday they said you got to go 2 hours earlier and hold 40 seats.
I would always just say,
I'd be like, well, I'm out of the fraternity.
I'd say I have family in town.
Yeah.
And, then
And that worked?
Yeah.
I feel
I'm
like
surprised
it's
that worked.
I mean, I don't care about Greek life at all either, but I have a lot of friends who did, and it was like the way they act about hazing, which I know is now you can't really haze, put that in air quotes because I think you still do. Like, why do you put yourself through that then? Why? Like, they would talk about like the drinking stuff they had to do. It's like I would just be like, I'm not doing that.
Just find people who are 30, 40, 50 years old, who are out of it for too long. They kind of don't care anymore. Like, if you're in your 25, like, you're still going to care about your secrets. Find some grandparents. Have them talk about their time. Like, you're going to get better stories. Just do a list of hazing stories.
It's upsetting. I really think that, Jack, you should make it seem more salacious than it actually was.
No, I genuinely think Jack could do some research and have a good TikTok. Yes,
What,
Brandon.
Can we stop talking about that punk ass bullshit and talk football?
I want someone to ask Nick Saban in a press conference his thoughts.
Katie just told you to fuck off.
Now we can do it. Sorry, last word in. Continue.
Technically, she did say Nick Saban, so that was football related.
NCAA 14. NCAA football.
That's our last topic.
Fair.
Our first topic today.
I tried.
No, you were fine.
I know. I'm chilled.
Hey.
Is your food here yet? You're hangry.
My feud?
Food.
It's the first thing I said when we walked in to record, and he was like, I'm just not going to eat then. And I was like,
The yak
need to eat.
The yak ran until 3:15, and we were supposed to record at 3. Yes. I haven't eaten yet.
No, you guys got into a little fight over the food.
Not me.
I should have been like, just let him get his Chick-fil-A.
It was
then he'll be
Brandon and
fine.
Katie. I was talking to Tara.
No, I said I was joking about it.
Katie
And then
was very dismissive.
All right, Big
She
Ten.
was very dismissive.
I offered to bring it in.
But that's her job. She has to
dismiss
push
me?
you.
To dismiss me?
To push you to
To treat me
a
like
higher
I'm-
level.
To
Yes.
treat me like I'm less than?
No, that's not what she does.
I'm
I
Brandon
treat you like
fucking
you.
Walker.
Never mind.
Okay.
I just sat there in awe of Katie's balls she had.
She told me where I could go and where I could sit.
I know, it was great.
And I was just saying, I got to eat.
She was
said,
like,
"Go
move
get
with
But
purpose.
guess what? I ain't eat because she made me come in here.
When she
The
said
food
move
wasn't
with,
here.
Jack, she even shoot him.
All right. We'll get to an ad in a minute.
All right, Joe Milton was in the office.
Joe Milton was in the office.
Do you see the
is-
video?
What are your... I was going to make a great joke about that video. I'll just say it on the podcast. Like, he still can't throw the short ball.
Yeah.
Another incompletion on the short ball.
So Joe Milton was here. Big T brought him in, I guess. I don't think he interviewed with anybody. He just came and saw the office.
Big T didn't even tell me like he was
about-
coming.
Wait, he
We
didn't
could've
tell.
got, like,
I was about to say we
TikTok.
couldn't.
I think
Or
he was
what
only
about
here
just
like-
being
I know.
on this podcast?
He was
I
only here
know.
like 15 minutes.
But
Yeah, I know.
we do
I
a
know.
college football podcast.
I understand, but whatever. We don't get the guests around here. They treat us like shit. We do have a sponsor again, though. But anyway,
You're welcome.
Thank you. Not Joe Milton. The Big Ten. That's where I want to start.
Man.
Kevin Warren. You talk about a guy who probably got way too much credit. I'm trying to think of like a comparable thing where a guy that we celebrated and maybe Lance Armstrong, where
Joe Biden.
Joe. Maybe Lance Armstrong,
Leave
who
it
was
to Jack.
everybody's hero and everybody's this and that, and then right after his career, you realize, oh fuck, he was just cheating the whole time.
Did we think that Kevin Warren was a hero at some point?
I think Kevin Warren got a lot of credit for like keeping
That big deal. And then he got a lot of shit in the summer of 2020 when
Right.
he tried, and then he was kind of seen as
So
this.
he got a lot of shit in 2020 when he was the first conference commissioner to say, pull the plug, we're not playing. He ran like a coward from COVID. And then the conference came back, and they got the big TV deal, and he got a bunch of credit.
Continue.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
But I feel like that, and you can correct me. I
No.
feel like because of what happened in COVID,
No,
regardless of the way people
He
felt
got
about
love
it.
for the TV deal.
a lot of people.
They walked it back.
There was a lot of articles.
And
you
USC, UCLA got credit for that.
You could
Okay.
find a lot of articles that said what a story that Kevin Warren has been in the Big Ten because he fought through all the negative press and has pushed them to like during this weird conference realignment era and made sure that the Big Ten is secured. However, now we're learning that food's here.
Say please.
I did offer, to everyone's
Say
credit,
please.
Please.
I offered to bring it in.
Now
Continue.
we are learning now that there's Kevin Warren essentially did a deal with NBC and their TV deal without truly
He promised some things that he couldn't promise.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing a contract, and both of you have done some serious contracts, you nailed down. That's why they take so long. You nailed down everything. Kevin Warren was guaranteeing championship games on a network that he couldn't guarantee.
Yeah, he was giving things to a network that he couldn't give them. He was saying
time
things
slots
that couldn't happen. Yes.
I'm not going to say that it's not his fault because it clearly is. But as you know also, Brandon, just like I know, you have agents in these processes. Like
But he was the agent.
He's the agent.
But isn't there going to be an agent on the flip side
You
of
would-
that
not
too?
an agent
That would
so much,
double
but you would
check
think
that?
there would be a team of lawyers behind
Yes.
him, like, hey, don't say that.
Or somebody on the other side of the contract, the other
That's a
side of the
good
deal,
point.
to say,
Good
hey,
point.
actually, he can't promise
But
this.
if you remember, Kevin Warren's exit was just a surprise one.
It was
day.
very
He
bizarre.
went from Big Ten commissioner, which was looking like one of the biggest jobs in America from a sports perspective, to Bears. How do you think the Bears are feeling right now?
He looked like he was aligning himself alongside Sankey as the most powerful man in college sports.
Yep.
And then one day he just said, I'm going to go work for the Bears instead. Now, that should have been our first clue. Because you don't go from the most powerful man in college sports to being one of 32 presidents of operations in the National Football League.
When that move happened, we all sat in this very room and said, why did he do that? What could possibly be the benefit of going from being the Big Ten commissioner to the NFL? And we thought, well, maybe the money, whatever. But I still, while I do think Kevin Warren was a snake and promising things he just simply can't promise, somebody else dropped the ball too, because these are things that you could easily fact check.
So the Big Ten, are they going to have to deliver a conference championship game to NBC right now? Is that
So-
going to be out?
So Pete Thamel was the one that reported on this,
Right.
and he's like top of the top, best
Yeah,
of
he's
the
the
best. The conference has around $70 million in flux right now.
Right.
And then $25 million of it comes from the COVID season because of lost revenue in the conference only season, which probably a lot of conferences had to deal with.
Sure.
And that's not the biggest deal. COVID was a once in a lifetime. How do you even prepare for that?
Yeah.
The $40 million that the Big Ten owes Fox after Kevin Warren gave NBC the conference championship game as a sweetener, which he isn't authorized to do. So that's the biggest, the $40 million that's up in flux. And then also, he also told NBC, well, the games that you get in November will do at night.
Yeah.
At 8 p.m. And these schools, I don't know why the Big Ten schools care that much, but it's a tradition. It's also...
Well, Fox has also used the Big Ten and the money they've spent to pump up that big noon kickoff and to make that a thing.
But I think the NBC game was like, you know how... So Michigan and Ohio State will always be on Fox.
Yeah.
Right? Big noon is sticking around because it's number one. But then that weekend, there's also like Nebraska-Iowa could be a massive game one year. There's also Penn State-Michigan this year. And then Kevin Warren told NBC, we'll give you that game. And NBC was like, oh, we'll do it at 8 p.m. because of it. And Michigan State and Penn State specifically were like, no, we don't want that. And there's a lot of schools like that. So now Michigan State's playing a game against Penn State at 7:30 p.m. inside Ford Field instead of at home.
On a Friday, right?
Yeah, but it's good Black Friday.
Can I tell you all the truth about all the TV deals that are
Yes.
expiring and starting and everything? If you made me put my hand on a Bible and then tell you what conference is going to be where this fall and where I'm going to watch everything, I could not do it. I know we've got a brand new world of SEC on ESPN, ABC, SEC on CBS is out. All these things are different. Everything is different. Now we got Big Ten on CBS. We got Big Ten here. We got Big Ten on NBC. We're just going to have to go through the first few weeks, and I'm going to figure this all out.
Yeah, it's not.
My remote and my mind has got to figure all this out.
Isn't it Trig who does those awesome schedules?
I can't figure it out.
He's gonna have to do that for us because I have no idea. It was already hard enough. This is so funny. Katie's walking in with.
She did not have to do all that.
I think she did. What is in that? Okay. It looks like he's eating something from a salad place, but we know that's not the case.
She put it in a salad bowl.
I know.
She put a chicken sandwich in a salad bowl. Thank you very much, Katie.
Give the illusion that you're being healthy. It's already a hard enough pill to swallow to think about the Big Ten, which I know that's a tired argument if you're a fan of an SEC school, but the SEC on CBS music no longer being that.
But that's still this year.
Huh?
SEC still on CBS this year.
Didn't you say next year?
Yeah, I said
Yes.
the coming years.
Yes.
I said the coming years. This whole thing, we're just gonna have to get through it together.
It's going to be tough. But I'd like to sit here and.
At the same time, it's also going to be probably the smallest deal ever. Same channels, just different arrangements.
But in our heads, we know those arrangements.
Although when is it NBC? Is it Big Ten's going to have a couple games on Peacock and just Peacock?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think there are some games that are just on Peacock. That's going to fuck people up.
I would assume so because I've already went through this with Premier League Soccer.
Yeah.
All the games used to big time games, like massive games, would be on NBC USA or NBC Sports Network. But now sometimes big time games like Arsenal play Tottenham this year. I'm pretty sure on Peacock.
Well, can I tell you something as a Peacock user? Those Premier League games it's a pretty good setup. Like it's easy to find.
Yeah,
no, they are.
Yeah.
Once you do it once, and
you're fine.
You're fine. It's not that hard, but it is going to fuck some people up.
Yeah.
Well, it's every time something changes, it's like Thursday Night Football being on Amazon Prime, and you get used to it. But a bigger argument or bigger conversation, whatever, is that linear TV is just dying.
So with NBC, the biggest thing is Pete Thamel talked about this horse trading, which is the term that the source used. The horse trading involves schools playing games that they might not normally want to play. There's a long-standing scheduling policy in the conference that gave teams the opportunity to not play night games after the first week of November. That's going out the window because of the NBC having to make up with NBC that they're not going to get the conference championship game because the old Big Ten commissioner, Jim Delaney, had that was Fox's game forever. And even though we feel conference championship games don't matter as much anymore, those are still massive, massive TV games.
I think they still matter a lot.
Yeah.
I know
she does.
Right. That's an ongoing.
But it's
argument.
something
it will
that I
change a little
feel
bit with
on social. I see a little bit more, but those are still that's where you make the money.
They have a chance to get more important in the new setup. They have a chance to get less important and more important.
I would say there's the side though, the less importance
there
because
will
it's
be conferences.
There's more spots.
There will be leagues like the SEC one year where it's just for seeding, where the winner will get the 1 seed and the loser will get the 5 seed. But there will also be
the Pac-12 last year would have been a play-in.
It's gonna be an extra playoff game basically.
Yeah,
it'll playoff getting the playoff.
It'll depend on which way you look at it. My argument is always when there's 4 teams in the playoff and you have 5 Power 5 conferences, and if you don't win your conference, why would you get a spot?
Because
that's
going to
go away.
Conferences are not equal.
But in the playoff with 12 when expanded, you are right. I mean,
all the champs are getting in.
But there are going to be there are going to be 3 teams from multiple conferences every year that got teams that wouldn't even have sniffed the conference.
Well, that's what's going to happen in the Big Ten East, or in the Big Ten, you might have Ohio State, Wisconsin both get in, and then Penn State, those two play for the conference championship, they get in, but Penn State sneaks in ahead of the loser of that game because they didn't have to play in it. But that's all.
Yeah, did you see what conference got paid the most from TV deals?
What's that? Big Ten? Kevin Warren lying?
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
By almost $10 million.
Yeah, well, we that might not hold up, but we'll see. Now, I want to get to a lot of other stuff. So I got a big game boomer graphic I want to go over. We did the Kevin Warren stuff already. Bill Connelly had a quarterback list that we're going to go over right now. I got some things to say to Georgia fans again.
I do too. I have some things to say.
It's not even going to be Georgia fans. My thing. It's not even going to be Georgia fans.
Mine's to Georgia fans.
I've realized something.
Okay, but keep going.
I want to hear what he's because I think he had a realization that we were texting at one point, and I think there was a moment within the text he had a realization too.
Yeah, it happened.
Really?
Yeah, we had a moment.
We had a moment, and I realized it was a moment. I didn't even tell him, but I knew we had to
a
tell
light
him.
bulb went off over my head, and he saw it happen.
And
Okay,
then
I wanna hear it.
I was just like, oh, it happened.
All right. We got to talk about Bear Alexander's apartment and then Colorado, the Big 12. All right.
Bear Alexander's apartment. I do like his apartment.
Let's start with Bill Connelly, who does terrific work over at ESPN.
I really like him.
He does SP Plus, and he's an analytic guy, and he breaks down everything. And, I'm sure he's factor in the FBI that they come up with, or at least his stuff.
The FBI was around before he came to the ESPN. I'm sure he's helped. He's also a guy that watches a lot of. He's not like a nerd that just puts in numbers. Like he's very in the college football culture.
Well, he put out a graphic or an article this week that I think should disqualify him from ever talking about college football again. As good as he is, as awesome as he is, and as good as he is for the sport, he might have to retire immediately.
So I saw the graphic on Twitter.
It was top 75 quarterbacks since 2000.
Before you get to that, Jack will probably know this better. Do people pay for ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
You
I
do?
use his account, right?
I
it's
use
somewhere logged in.
It's the
one
best
way.
deal in sports.
But I mean, I know
Is
that
that why I can't log into it anymore?
No, I can't find. I can't find it. I know on some browser.
I have a login for it, but I'm talking about like the general population.
I pay for yeah.
And it has it has like you get UFC.
There's also new deals where I think it's
with Disney Plus
Disney
you get
Plus and then Hulu. I think Hulu's tied in with them too.
I've lost it. I have a new computer. So
oh damn!
You're on your own.
It's every time I click on one of those articles, and if it's on something that I haven't logged in before, I'm like, there has got to be so many more people than not that want to read this top 75 quarterback list and see that, and they're like, fuck this, I'm not doing it. Maybe not though.
I started reading the 75 quarterback list, and I almost blew a gasket when I saw 75. It was Matt Ryan, who made Boston College good, who was #1 pick in the draft. I was like, wow, he's 75. Dak Prescott was 72. That's when I stopped reading and went straight to the top 10. Dak Prescott 72 behind Todd Reesing. Fuck that. Dak Prescott.
That is actually kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
I would put Dak in the top 30.
They had like 5 Oklahoma quarterbacks all in the top 30. Jason White was up there. He was trash. Sam Bradford was up there. He's not.
It's
anyway,
the and
top,
you know this. You know this.
Yeah.
It's because of where he played. Unfortunately, I deal with the same thing.
Do you know the top 5?
I do. I'm not going to agree that I'm saying, but if Dak played somewhere else and had the success, he'd be much higher.
Help me with number 5. I remember the top 4.
I'm pulling it up.
Okay. Anyway, top 4.
I believe 5 is.
I know the top 4. Oh, 5's Burrow. 5 is Burrow.
I got it.
I got the top 5. 5 is Burrow. 4 is Tim Tebow. 3 is Vince Young. Mm-hmm. 2 is Cam Newton.
Yep.
And the best quarterback since 2000 in college football is Baker motherfucking Mayfield. What? Okay. You could, if you put all their stats together side by side and looked at them, Baker Mayfield has the best stats. He started the longest. He played the most games. He has the best stats. He has 131 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Phenomenal college quarterback. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal. Cam Newton had one season where he played, won 1 Heisman, 1 national title, never lost a game. Joe Burrow had 1 average season and then had the greatest season in the history of college football. Tim Tebow had one of the greatest careers in the history of college football with a national title and a Heisman. 2 national titles and a Heisman, excuse me.
And at the time, the youngest to ever do it.
Vince Young at 3 over Tebow is Vince Young should be up there. I would put Tebow ahead of him. I'd have Vince Young 4. Actually 5 because you got to move Burrow up from 5. But Baker Mayfield being better than Cam Newton, Joe Burrow, Vince Young, and the other one I said, Tim Tebow, is madness. It's fucking madness. It's crazy.
Call me crazy, but you should not be the best quarterback of any era or decades if you've never won a national championship.
He didn't win a playoff game.
You cannot be the best at something if you did not win the best award, which is winning a national title or
but that's
a Heisman.
He
won a Heisman.
It's a little reductive.
I understand.
I agree. It's a little reductive, but
not when you have guys that have done both.
If you're comparing the guys right behind him.
Yes.
And Mayfield has 3.5 great years. Newton has 1. Newton, to me, meant more to college football in his 1 year than Baker Mayfield meant in his 3.5.
If you looked at the top 10 and you could say, okay, this guy won a Heisman but not a national title, or Vince Young, this guy won a national title but not a Heisman. You have guys in the top 5 who won both in a much shorter period of time. You cannot say that somebody who didn't win both can be the best.
To me, is one of the great Heisman casualties because he just happened to share a year with an iconic highlight machine in Reggie Bush. Like that was a year you could have awarded 2 Heismans, and those are rare, but you could have. But to me, Baker Mayfield, if you don't stop and acknowledge the fact that and the Big 12 has changed now. The Big 12 is a more defensive league now, and that era is over. But if you don't acknowledge that the Oklahoma quarterbacks from 2003 to 2020 were a huge product of the defenses they played. Oklahoma quarterback, they would sign a quarterback. He would arrive. He would have the best receivers in his conference by a mile, the best running back by a mile, the best offensive line by a mile, and he would be playing the worst defenses in America week in to week out. That's why Jason White won a Heisman. That's why Sam Bradford set records, and then he played Florida in the bowl game, and he scored 14 points.
And then
Like
Vince Young.
Vince Young is similar, but the fact that he won a national title
All right, yeah.
validates him to me.
Just so we're clear with the Baker Mayfield, this is Bill Connelly's explanation. Cam Newton, is that Bryce Young?
Yeah.
Vince Young and Burrow had the best seasons. Baker Mayfield had the best career.
You can't have the best
began with him walking on.
Time. Let me stop you right there.
Yep.
If you say that, you can say he had a better career than those three guys. I don't think you can sit here and say he had a better career than Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow had 2 national titles, started for 3 years, was number 1 in every year, won a Heisman, finished second in another Heisman. How can you tell me he had a better career than Tim Tebow?
I was about to say, I think Tebow probably should have been 1. The thing with Baker is there is a little bit of revisionist history when it comes to Oklahoma. Oklahoma from 2010 till Baker became the starter.
Agreed.
Didn't win a conference championship.
Yeah.
They were there.
Yeah.
I mean, Landry Jones wasn't bad. They had some good players, and it wasn't like Oklahoma went away.
They weren't
But
pathetic.
Baker came in, won, I think, 3 conference titles, and then also made the college football playoff twice, had 3 top 5 finishes. Now, he didn't, and he got embarrassed. Or, well, one wasn't
the first one. He was fine the second one.
The first one.
As I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, I see why that career is phenomenal. And also, he ended up as a number 1 pick, despite being my size.
Here's my issue. If you say that, here's the thing about Oklahoma, and if you look at this list,
they're all littered.
They are lit. Landry Jones is 39th. That's bullshit. 39. They're only 30. Jason White 32nd.
Kyler's 9th.
Jalen Hurts. I don't think Jalen Hurts should be on the top 75 list.
I don't
think he should be on the top 75 list.
Brandon.
I don't think y'all.
What?
What are you talking about?
He got his ass benched at Alabama. He got his ass benched at Alabama.
An SEC title.
He got his ass
Alabama.
benched at
He helped
Alabama,
get a team to the
and
national
then went and played in that
championship
fake ass Heisman machine
What
in Oklahoma.
are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Clip
telling
that.
Yeah, I'm saying this is me.
you. No, don't clip it because he
no,
should be
yeah,
in top 75, but he should be.
No,
he's-
clip
Deal with
that.
that.
Wait,
Top
hold on,
50?
time. Let me correct it.
No.
No, let him correct it.
Let me correct it. Should he be in top 75? Yes. Should he be 25? No.
Okay, what about 38?
He should
Top
be in the
40.
30.
Top 40. Fine.
You're telling me you would put
Sam
Dak-
Bradford 15 is bullshit. Kyler Murray 7 is bullshit of the
That's
highest
bull-
order.
that's bullshit.
Kyler Murray ahead of Johnny Manziel is crazy.
I agree with that. Would
Yeah.
you put Dak Prescott ahead of Jalen Hurts?
You don't want to know the answer to that question.
I think you could make. No.
That's
Actually,
an
no.
easy argument. That's
I'm
an
an
easy-
idiot.
Jack,
No,
stop. Jack,
easy.
stop.
That's
No.
an easy argument. That's an easy yes. Dak Prescott had me and you around him and got him to number 1. Jalen Hurts had the best team in America. He did get him to a national title game where they lost his first year, right? I think 17 they lost.
They did.
Oh, no, 17 they won. 16 they lost. 17 they won. 18 they lost.
His first national championship game that he played in, they lost on the Hunter Renfro.
Jalen Hurts
but he played good in that game.
Never started and completed a game to win a national title.
Yeah, but he
That never
made the
happened.
college football playoff 3 separate times at 2 separate schools. He was very close to.
He's a very good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback, so I shouldn't say he wasn't a good quarterback. I think at Alabama,
Like
he was a
maybe not
product
being
of being at Alabama
top
his first
75?
couple of years. At Oklahoma, he was a product of being in that. I think.
right.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this. If Dak Prescott was Alabama's quarterback in
that's different.
20, no, how is that different?
Because I said that at the beginning of this argument.
If Dak Prescott was Alabama's quarterback in 20, if
No.
Jalen Hurts was Mississippi
I
State's
said that.
quarterback in 2014, we never go to number 1.
I know.
No, not even close.
I said that if he was on a different team, different
The
argument.
different team thing does throw this whole
Correct.
list into a loop.
Anyway, y'all are
It's-
getting ahead. Y'all are getting in the
Here's-
way of the point.
Here's my
The point
thing
is
with Baker.
Oklahoma quarterbacks have phony numbers.
Baker Mayfield, and this is where, and this happens on the podcast, no matter what we say, every opinion we have, whichever fan base is connected to it, they think we either are saying everything glowingly about this team or everything sucks.
Let me stop you right
Oklahoma
there, real
fans,
quick.
we are not saying that Baker Mayfield sucks. We are not
No.
saying that Baker
He
Mayfield
should
was
be
not
like
a great
fifth. He should be
quarterback.
fifth.
He should not be number 1 simply because if you don't win a national title, I don't think you can be the best quarterback of a 20-year decade or 2 decades or whatever it was.
I disagree with the premise of that, but I agree with it being applied here because I think there could be a scenario where that would happen, but
there's not.
in this realm. What the guys were talking about, they pass him because of the way they did that. Now, let me just stop. This is the first time in the history of the show. I'm going to stop it right here and say, yeah, saying Jalen Hurts wasn't top 75 was crazy.
All right, we're not going to clip it. Don't worry.
Okay,
No,
so that was crazy.
I
That was
want it to
crazy.
happen so badly.
That was overreactionary.
Why are we
going
clipping
to?
it? Don't worry.
No.
Wait, no, have it.
I won't post it. I won't
Do not
post it.
fucking clip that. I'm telling you.
Wait, hold on. What about the 75 yes, 25 no?
Eh.
That was
Jalen Hurts was a good college quarterback. I think he's overrated at 25. He should be like 40 or something like that. It should be 40.
That's a
But
reasonable.
when I said originally he should be top 75, that was crazy.
Yes, no, I was saying
it's
readjust.
Don't clip the fucking shit.
You know what's playing in my head right now?
Now fans are gonna clip it. But that's fine.
Oh, for sure. The clip of us talking about Jalen Hurts, which, by the way, we all look so different. It's alarming how different that we look. But that clip is still so funny to me because we weren't even saying Sam Ehlinger's name right. That's how long ago that was.
Can I just ask a question about that list?
I was interested that Ellinger's not on it.
Well, that's fine. Is Tua higher than Jalen Hurts on that list?
Yeah.
He is. Okay, good.
And then
if he wasn't, that's crazy.
I'm actually. What
I
do
wanna
you
hear
think
what Colin
about
has to say about
Stetson
this.
Bennett?
I don't give a fuck what. Just
I want to
to
hear. No, I want to hear what Colin has to say about it.
Jalen Hurts showed up as a freshman and
throwing
was
stuff.
Was a pretty good quarterback that got a great team to the playoff. It was pretty good. It wasn't great. Then his second year, it wasn't really as good, and then he got replaced in the national title game because they were going to lose if he didn't play. That's the truth. His third year at Alabama, he didn't play because the other guy was better than him. His fourth year at Oklahoma, he played and put up huge numbers. So this idea that for 4 years he was one of the best quarterbacks in college football is, in fact, false.
I
We
didn't
agree
say he
with
was
that?
one of the best quarterbacks
Can
in
I clip
college
that?
football.
I don't even know why we're even talking about this still.
Bryce. So it goes 19 Bryce,
Okay, 19 Bryce.
21 Tua,
Got it.
25 Jalen.
Okay.
Which
Show me who 26 is.
Russell,
Russell Wilson, 27.
Pat White.
Pat White's a better college quarterback than Jalen Hurts, period.
What about Justin Fields?
Justin Fields is a better college quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
Rex Grossman.
No.
Rex Grossman was great, though.
Yeah, but not better than Jalen.
Okay, but Rex Grossman... No, hold on. Rex Grossman was
You
great.
just don't like Jalen.
No, Rex Grossman was great.
He
Rex
was
Grossman
really
one of
good.
those forgotten
Again,
names.
this is
Mac Jones 38.
that's
All right, I'd have Hurts ahead of him.
Well, if
Yeah.
you're
I
gonna
think Stetson
put,
Bennett at 37's a little...
I'm gonna say it. If you're gonna put Cam Newton 2, I think you have to put Mac Jones in the top 10.
Okay.
You know what, Jack? I don't agree with that, but I don't hate it. Does that make
Listen,
sense?
but listen
no,
to-
wait a minute. I have an argument against that.
Okay, then let's do it.
I don't
Cam
hate the
Newton
thought.
had an all-time
Yes.
elite year, yes? Mac Jones had an all-time elite year. We agree
One
with
was
that?
in COVID.
No, I don't care about COVID.
His talent.
He had 3 first-round
I
picks.
know,
He had
I know.
3 first-round pick receivers. He had a first-round pick behind him.
Sarkisian was his.
Like he couldn't be bad.
And also
could
he
not-
played and he played for Nick Saban.
He could not
Cam
be
Newton
bad.
played for Gene Chiswick.
He
Okay,
could
that's
not be bad.
That's also all right. Then I think we agree now. That's a good
Yes.
counter argument to my point.
If you can win a national title and Gene
Is
Chiswick
everybody
is your
still-
head
if
coach,
I
then
were doing, you know what?
You
know
would
what?
look good in that
Stop
system.
talking. Not you. I didn't mean that. Everybody stop talking. Next week,
uh-oh.
everybody here.
Hate week?
47.
Uh-oh.
I think that's low for Eli Manning.
Really?
I think that's low for Eli
Yeah,
Manning.
isn't next week hate week?
I don't know. We'll do hate week when we do hate week.
Okay. What are you saying for
Next
next
week.
We're doing our own list?
Everybody bring your top 25.
I thought you were going to say 75. I was like, fuck yourself.
Bring your top 25 quarterbacks since 2000.
Okay.
Oh, he had Matt Barkley 61st.
That's crazy. He had and God bless
Duggan
him.
62.
Max Duggan in 62 is crazy. He had one great year. He had one great year.
Yeah,
It's recency
He
bias.
wasn't going to be the starter.
putting Duggan over Andy Dalton, I think, is very.
Oh, you know what? Can I say something about
Yeah.
TCU? The fact that he has Duggan and Andy Dalton
But not
there and not
Boykins.
Trevon Boykin is crazy.
Wow, he put AJ in it.
He's got
67.
Max Duggan over Dak Prescott. That's great. That's crazy. And
No, that is
Dak
crazy.
Prescott's a better college quarterback than Jalen
Yes.
Hurts. I said it. You can clip that. That's truth.
Also, I think Lamar at 8 may be a little low.
Johnny at 12 or 13 is low.
Kyler
Wait,
at
what was
7
Lamar?
over Lamar is very
Kyler
interesting.
over Johnny, Kyler over Lamar is crazy.
And Marcus over.
Johnny should be in the top 10.
Oh, no. You so no should be in the top 10. Who isn't?
Tell me.
Jameis fucking Winston.
Yep.
Where's Jameis?
16.
16.
That's insane.
Jameis Winston was incredible. Jameis Winston was a fucking supernova. He should be top 10. He walked in as a redshirt freshman, didn't come close to losing a game.
He didn't come close. He was unbelievable.
He also just did
Except the national championship, of course.
He did some stupid ass shit.
right.
But he didn't. Never
Well,
mind.
yeah,
I forgot.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking about just the crawfish.
the crab
and
legs
the like
thing, yeah.
fucker right in the pussy. But then there's obviously allegations against him.
Right.
Yes.
He was his own worst enemy.
But this list isn't about
No.
morality.
No, it's not.
I'll tell you right now. If you told me I could get freshman Baker Mayfield to start for my team next year, or freshman Jameis Winston and have them for 3 or 4 years, I'm taking Jameis Winston 100 times out of 100.
Okay,
That son of a bitch was good.
Okay, here's a question for you. Freshman Jameis Winston, freshman Baker Mayfield, freshman Johnny Manziel, freshman who was another freshman, or Tim Tebow, he was a sophomore junior.
Freshman Justin Fields.
Freshman Justin Fields.
And I kind of just take their talent and what I've seen and apply them now. I don't think it's Johnny.
College career.
I think it's Jameis Winston.
I think it is too.
I think Jameis Winston's the best quarterback out of that group in college football. All right.
But
that was fun. I got the juices flowing. Jalen Hurts, I would put him at 37.
If we were in
37. I put Jalen Hurts at 37.
If we were in 2006, though, or 2005, I think Tebow is the answer regardless, except for Cam, who came a little bit later. But I think Tebow's the answer. Mm-hmm. And also, we know quarterback position is an important leader, and he established himself as a very important guy for that team.
The one way
even though they murdered everybody.
And also,
the one way you can ding Burrow. He had the best season ever, but he also had an average season. And Cam was one of one. He had one great season. He played one, had a great season. Mayfield had 3 great seasons. Joe Burrow had one okay season and one phenomenal.
And with Cam too, because obviously people at Auburn know this, but had he not had the whole laptop thing and had to go to Blinn and play in community college, we don't know what his career would have looked like. He could have won 2 or 3 national titles, but he got in trouble and had to go play at a literal community college.
What number was AJ McCarron?
No. AJ was like
I didn't ask his jersey number, you roll tide fuck.
I think 68. I think
he said
68.
that with so quick to 10.
10.
I think 68. He was your quarterback, right? Yeah. That was
Coker.
And Coker. I'm
Jacob
surprised he didn't put
Coker.
Coker in there.
Well, I tell you what.
He was good for a very
Yeah.
under talked about.
Is Greg
quarterback.
McElroy on that list?
No.
He better not be.
I know. The Alabama.
He wasn't
horrible.
He won a national championship.
Yep.
Man, I don't know. 2 at 19 or whatever might be a little high because the idea of Tua was great, and he put up elite stats. He didn't stay healthy enough, but boy, he was fucking good.
Also, you give him credit for a national championship for winning a half of football.
Yeah, but he did win that half of football.
I know, and I'm not taking away from him. But also, I mean, you want to talk about what if? Like, I mean, I forgot the name of the cornerback. That guy wasn't offsides.
Georgia?
Yeah, when he blocked the punt.
Yeah, he was not. Was it Simmons?
I think so.
That got the juices flowing.
That was good.
I like that. And don't get sassy in here, okay? Oh, I'm going to clip it. No. It's our show. It's not your show all of a sudden.
No, it is.
I'm not even clipping. I'm just in your head right now. Noah's
Wow.
clipping. I'm just recording.
Damn.
Why is he adversarial?
What?
Why is he adversarial?
Because you
Alabama.
talking shit.
Yeah, it's his school.
He's producing the show.
Yeah, but he's Bama. Roll Tide, roll.
R.I.P. Phyllis.
The Barstool Sportsbook. Phyllis from Mulga, yeah, R.I.P. The Barstool Sportsbook now offering a $1,000 bonus for new players. If your first bet loses, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. You all right? You're having a stroke. Download and create an account today. Use code RUFF to unlock your $1,000 bonus. Use code RUFF to unlock your $1,000 bonus. Terms apply. You must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes.
Celtics in 7.
Oh,
Shane,
my
don't
God.
do that.
Nah,
Don't
I'm
do
not
that
doing
shit.
Boston's case.
Don't do this. Is a Boston-free environment.
No, I'm
This
just
is-
saying the
no, the
sportsbook is live in Massachusetts now.
I want college football Casey in here.
But I'm talking about the sportsbook.
I want college football Casey.
That's
in here.
fine, but the sportsbook.
Big time summer of UFC fights. We'll be
I
ready
want
to
college
go.
football Casey. I want college football Jack. Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, fine.
All right. There was another graphic that I want to talk about because that one got me going. This one will be a more nuanced discussion. Big Game Boomer, my best friend on the internet, is a guy
can't
that I've
stand
always liked.
I can't stand
He
him.
does good work. Now,
He's beautiful. Yeah, great.
I don't think we have it to put on the screen or anything, so I'll just have to talk you through it. Do you have it up, Katie?
Which one is this?
It was his national. These are the teams that haven't won a national title, and that's all it was. It was a simple graphic showing the logos of the teams that are not credited with a national title. Now, there's a bunch of teams that should have been on there, like Ole Miss, who never won an actual national title.
Yep.
Their grandfathers lied to them and told them they did.
Yep.
But anyway, there's like 30 logos on here, and I wanted to look at this logo. As soon as she gets it up, she's going to hand me the laptop, and I'm going to read you all of them. Did you send it to me?
It's
Yeah.
on your phone.
Well, this phone's about to die, but I'm gonna.
You want me to pull it up on mine?
Until it dies, I'm going to read it, and I'll tell you the logos. Just relax, Jack. Shit.
Arizona.
Stop. Hold on. I get to read. Arizona State, Baylor. Log these teams in your mind, okay? I'm going to ask a
I'm
question.
following
after this.
along in my textbook.
Arizona State, Baylor, Cincinnati, Duke, Houston, Indiana, Iowa State, Kansas State, Louisville, Mississippi State, Missouri, North Carolina State, Northwestern, Oregon State, Purdue, South Carolina, Texas Tech, Utah, Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Washington State, West Virginia, and Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Of that group, if you all have it on your phone to do the assignment, over the next 50 years, who are the 5 teams most likely to emerge from that group and not be on the graphic in 50 years? 50 is a long time.
We're assuming that all
You
conferences...
can assume whatever you want to assume.
Okay.
So, obviously, Oregon is the one that stands out. They've been very close. They've played for 2 national titles in the last 2 decades.
And came very close. Well, Ohio State came.
It seems like every 5 or 6 years they're close to playing for a national title. So they're in the mix, right? Oregon has been in the mix.
I would throw Wisconsin in there.
I think Wisconsin is a team that has thrived.
I'd be shocked.
But they have thrived at that level right underneath national title. They've thrived at being the best of Tier 2 a lot. They haven't been there the last couple of years, but with Fickle, if you're stretching, you're going to have to stretch on some of these. Here's some I came up with. I could see Baylor fucking around and winning a national title.
Yes.
They did it in basketball. They did they have the buy-in, they have the money, they have the state, they have the resources, and they have at times they've had a Heisman winner. They at times bubbled up to be just right there at the top of the sport.
Especially when Texas and OU do leave the conference.
Somebody's got to grab that conference by the balls.
With Wisconsin, I think that right now we're so used to seeing the other division being so dominant. But let's say Wisconsin, who can get their way into the Big Ten championship year after year, sneaks a win and gets into the playoff, especially once it's expanded with Luke Fickell. That's not a crazy thing to think
But
about.
then they have to beat 3 top 10 teams 3 weeks
But
in a
I'm
row.
saying of this list, though, that I feel like I can make an argument for them more so. But I don't hate the Baylor one. I do hate it, but I don't hate it.
I'm going to throw another one at you.
I think I know where you're going to go. Can I guess?
I have a
Houston.
pair.
I was not going to Houston.
Oh.
I was going to say the North
Me too.
Carolina Tar Heels. Resources.
Katie.
If they end up in a better conference,
State.
If they get in a better world,
What?
No to Jack, sorry.
I
Continue.
said North Carolina.
He said state.
No, I meant like
Great
they
state.
like.
They have a great state.
Sorry. Continue on.
No, I get why she said that.
Okay. North Carolina has a great state, a lot of talent, great resources. They've won. I think they've won national titles in almost every other sport. They've won it
University
in basketball.
of National Champions.
They win it across.
We won tennis earlier this week.
All the non-revenue sports.
They beat A&M.
Them getting.
They beat NC State in the final.
Them getting the right coach and becoming like in the ACC. Florida State became a national title contender. Clemson, if Clemson could do it, North Carolina could do it.
Side note, I'm so in on Florida State winning the ACC.
I kind of am too. They were already returning the most in the maybe the country.
It depends
the
on Garrett
conference.
Riley.
And then they brought in the best transfer class.
Yeah. For this list though, I think just from looking at it from a recruiting standpoint, the Arizona State. I think if you have. It's going to be so easy to recruit there.
I will say, though, Arizona State was literally, 2 minutes away from a national championship?
I mean,
they have one of the greatest blown national championships ever.
If you look at this, Arizona State, Kansas State was about 5 minutes from playing for a national title in '98. Kansas was close to playing for a national title in 2007. They were in the mix.
West Virginia
Kansas-
you think West Virginia could ever get back to
West
that?
Virginia was close.
Kansas State also is.
Virginia Tech played for one.
Kansas State can also be a product of when the Big 12 looks a little bit different too. I mean,
Oh
they
hell,
won
there's
the
another one. There's another one. Like Utah's not far off.
Pac-12. Yeah, I mean,
Their
Utah's not
biggest,
far
okay.
off.
Here's
their
Recruiting's
biggest
gonna be
thing
hard
will
there.
be will they find a proper replacement when Whittingham leaves?
Yeah, but he might have 15 more years.
He's sneaky old.
He'll be a Kirk Ferentz.
is he really?
I think he's like 62, 63.
Huh.
I thought he was in his 50s.
He-
All right.
Yep, the light changed.
He is sneaky. I mean, he is. If he is old, that
He's
is sneaky,
63.
'cause I don't believe him to be that old.
I knew it. Bang!
I mean, he has at least 7 years. You coach till you're
No, but there was
70.
rumors that he was close to the end.
He
Well,
feels,
not-
he feels like a guy who will pick his successor and be good at picking his successor. Like he just rolls into the next
And
guy.
Utah isn't a school that was only good because of him. They've had a long success.
Yeah, if you think about it, you think nobody can ever win a national title that isn't Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, these teams. But again, Arizona State in '97 was this close. Baylor has been very good at times. State missed the playoff by one game. Kansas State almost played for a national title. Kansas was in the top 5 at the end of the season. Oregon has played for 2 national titles. West Virginia has been close to playing for a national title. Virginia Tech played for a national title.
Hell,
It's not that crazy.
TCU played for a national title.
They just played for a national title, yes. Like, if you look at this list and say, well, they never won it, they'll never win it. It could happen.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Who on this list is the least likely to win?
Well,
I think Wake Forest is up there.
Wake Forest is way up there.
I would say Vanderbilt.
I would say Duke and Wake Forest lead the list.
And Vanderbilt.
I think
has to be
Iowa
there.
State
What about
is
Missouri?
so far away.
I mean, I'll just
Missouri, as long as
Can I
they're
just
the
jump on?
SEC.
Can I just jump on a grenade real quick? I mean, Mississippi State plays in we live in the most expensive neighborhood in the country. Our house is never going to be the best house in that.
I think
it's just not.
Northwestern's so far
I don't know
away.
how we could ever win a national title.
Yeah, but in 50 years, because that's the game that we're playing. In 50 years, Nick Saban's not going to be around.
Of course, in the next 10 years, when I get stupid rich, I'll buy a bunch of recruits, and that'll
Yes,
okay, I can see that.
Yeah, see.
And then after Saban will be gone and dead, and he'll stop cheating, so there should be an opening. No, nothing to say now, huh? Yeah, you were sassy as fuck a minute ago.
Oregon State.
It would have been.
probably be tough.
We love Noah, but it would have been great if Noah just went to Bama because I do love this aspect of. But Colin's really good at. He's just a good jabber.
He is.
He is a good jabber. I would say
The amount of times I've sat down at lowering the bar,
And he does it
just sneaks an Alabama comment in right before he's about to start rolling.
And he
It's like,
doesn't
come
do
on,
it in a
man.
disrespectful way. He just does it like, oh, we're having a little bit of
That's
a
the
sparring
key.
session.
Conversation and what he's saying is not disrespectful. The look on his face is disrespectful.
Oh.
That's the key to the internet and like being fun. You can be insulting and
All
have fun and do jabs without like taking personal shots at people.
Yeah.
Like
That's true. Colin doesn't do that.
Rewind. I asked
Shut
Brandon
up.
if he was too poor to join Greek life.
Fair. Okay. Revisionist history over here.
Now, last question about this graphic.
Okay.
I just love this graphic.
It's great.
Who'd be the funniest one to win a national title? It has to be Vanderbilt, right?
For the content.
Vanderbilt winning a national title.
It would be hilarious.
Because they'd have to march through the SEC first.
But in the moment, it won't be hilarious. It'll
Imagine
be
imagine
hilarious.
Vanderbilt beating Alabama in
Oh, wait.
October to go to number 1,
I
and then
can't-
they beat Georgia.
I can't believe we didn't do this. Indiana, I think, is the farthest away. They're in a conference with Ohio State, Penn State, and
Yeah.
Michigan, our division, and then on top of it, they're not in an area. They're close to Ohio.
This is why I'm calling bullshit on this list. Rutgers is not on this list. Like Rutgers has never won an
Calling
actual
bullshit
national
on
title.
a big game
You know when
boomer
they did
list?
first
That's
year.
The first year, right. So,
It
anyway.
would be, for our personal reasons, it would be the funniest if
we
Mississippi
do
State
have.
won.
We are very close to me being so right about Rutgers that it's.
I love when
almost-
Jack gets on this.
because
It's so
if they go bad, we don't even talk about it here because you guys just love like Rutgers. Oh, Italian, Tony Soprano.
I like TJ.
And it's like, oh, Rutgers, this is so great. They stink.
But it's endearing when it's a little guy. It's like, oh, they have a
They're
little
not a
moment.
little guy though. They're New Jersey.
Big
They have
Ten?
all of the talent in their state. They can't recruit
And
it.
they
They have a massive stadium. They They did not
That's
deserve
not a
getting.
massive stadium.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not even
bigger than
close.
yours.
No, it ain't. No chance.
Also-
it is. I've been
also-
in, no chance. Leave me
Also-
hold on. It's between me and him right now, woman. There's no chance that stadium that I was in last year is bigger than 62.5. No chance. No chance.
Hey, Colin.
52-4.
Colin,
10,000
isn't
people.
it cute? Isn't it cute to talk about stadiums less than 100,000?
Well,
cute.
first of all, I adore playing in your stadium that's 100,000 because we don't lose there.
That is true. He don't lose.
No,
there.
that is true. But it's cute whenever you're talking about bigger stadiums.
Don't
at
act like.
50,000.
Don't act like.
Oh, having a stadium that's over 100,000 is something that people can brag about, right, Colin?
Can we stop involving him? All right.
You know what I
that's
do
cute.
want to involve in my life? Factor.
Factor.
I had a good factor today.
Did you? What was
Wow.
It was salmon with cream cheese grits, but it's cauliflower grits, so it's healthier, and then a side of broccoli, and I put some hot sauce on that bitch.
it? During the prime spring season, you need wholesome, convenient meals, and sometimes you can put hot sauce on that bitch to energize you for warmer, more active days and keep you on track reaching your goals. Remind me to put a pin in that. I want to talk hot sauce after this ad.
Okay.
Factor can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, eat well. It's healthy. It's delicious. You've been on it. You were on Factor months before we ever read them on this show.
Oh, boy. Katie and I both. We've been eating them, and I mean,
Banging
I
them.
will say this again. I pay for Factor.
Factor.
They
I pay
offer
for it.
delicious, flavor-packed options on the menu each week to fit a variety of lifestyles, from keto to calorie smart, vegan and veggie, protein plus. Prepared by chefs, approved by dietitians, every meal has all the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long while meeting your goals. If you're looking to mix it up, you can add a protein to vegan veggie meals, whatever you want to do. This may get Factor and enjoy clean eating without the hassle. Head to factormeals.com/Walker50. Walker50.
Go ahead. I got something to add.
Walker50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code Walker50 at factormeals.com/Walker50 to get 50% off your first box. Yes.
Sneaky thing about Factor, too, that we don't usually talk about. They also have, like, breakfast add-ons.
Yeah.
They can do,
Breakfast?
they do, like,
Brefix?
brekkie.
No, Brefix.
No,
That's
Brekkie is Livy's rival.
Oh.
You wouldn't know that.
Yeah. I
No,
see.
Brefix is
Frank-
how Frank's called.
Says breakfast.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes, but they have smoothies too, and they have like a bunch of different snacks. And I know it's not pumpkin spice season right now, but they've got a pumpkin spice pancake bundle
Yeah.
that's to die for.
And that's Factor. Do you know what Brekkie's tagline is?
No.
She says that she's Livy. What's she call him?
I don't know. I don't even really watch her.
Okay.
Well, Livy follows me on
She
TikTok,
says she
so
says she's Livy with bombs. Livy with cannons.
see, I wouldn't disrespect.
That's what she says.
I wouldn't disrespect Livy like that because my girl Livy's in Sports Illustrated swimsuit and Brekkie is dancing around trying to copy somebody in like bathrooms. So I mean, there's levels to this game, folks.
Wow.
Chestnut check.
I should have really thought more about that before I dove into the TikTok world with him over
Yeah, that was really stupid.
here.
Hot sauce. You wanted to talk about hot sauce.
Yeah.
You just had a baby.
I did. I did, in fact,
As
have a
you
child.
were pregnant, did your love of hot sauce go up or down?
It stayed the same,
'Cause
but
I
nothing got hot enough.
I got to tell a secret about everybody in here. Just one person. But this
I-
one likes hot sauce on everything
I love hot
That's not a
sauce,
secret.
and I keep hot sauce in my purse.
at all times.
So does
And-
Hillary Clinton.
And Beyonce.
Don't you remember when she said
Yeah.
that?
Just
I
down, boy.
I love it. It stayed the same. The weird thing about when I was pregnant was that nothing could get hot enough, so I think I ate more hot sauce. Like
Interesting.
I could not get anything spicy
You know
enough.
why? Because I believe when you're pregnant, estrogen levels go up.
Yes.
And when estrogen levels go up, testosterone typically goes down, and
Brandon's face is
and
class.
spiciness, being able to enjoy spiciness levels goes down when your testosterone goes down. So if you can handle spicy food, you usually have a higher level of testosterone.
This lesson in biology brought to you by Jack.
Jack read the baby books.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Listen,
You know,
I would
rock it to the
believe that.
breathing next to.
Did you know that men's estrogen levels go up when they have a baby, and their testosterone goes down? Well, not.
I certainly did know that. Yes.
And then, if you want to, there are like theories that you shouldn't spend too much time with the baby because your estrogen will get too high.
really?
Look it up.
That sounds like something a man made up to not have to change diapers. That's what that sounds like, right, Colin?
All right. We can almost need to do rapid fire on the
What
rest
did you
of
ask
this.
me
And
about
that's why
fucking
they
hot
want
sauce?
you to stay at
wanna
home
know
after having a baby for 9 months, so your estrogen levels get so high that you can't even fight back against the New World Order.
Jesus Christ. Doesn't Titus need this room?
2 minute drill.
No,
No,
we're going to
not
save
that.
it. We're saving it.
We have 4 topics to hit real quick.
Yeah.
We got to go
He
rapid
said
fire
we're-
on
he
these
said
4
we're
topics.
saving it for next week. But I have a good one for
I
next
don't know
week.
if y'all saw it, but we had we're going to explain the thing. This might just be all right. Real quick, let me hit 3 rapid fire, and then we'll end on what I was about to talk about.
Okay.
NCAA football is coming back next year. It is official. We said it last week, but the players get played. The players get paid. Everything's taken care of. It is coming back next year. EA Sports, this is once again my plea. Please, I would like to be involved in any way. I would tell you how to do this because you kind of been screwing Madden up. Anyway,
They'll be an idiot if they don't involve Big Cat, I feel.
okay.
Just
well,
from like what he did during COVID.
this really, you didn't need to throw that out in the ether while I was making a heartfelt plea.
The next year,
Just come right over the top of me
Dynasty's
like
coming
that.
back.
The plea also, I've said this too, I think we should do where you guys teach us how to play.
We're going to do that.
Yeah, I'm all
okay,
in.
so they're going to have the transfer portal, all that. We can talk about that game at length another time. Bear Alexander, who went from Georgia to USC, he went live. He showed his apartment. He did
a
like crib
TikTok
thing.
tour, yeah.
Did TikTok tour of his apartment, and Georgia fans lost their mind. People lost their minds. Like, oh my God, look how this guy's living. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're getting paid now. They're getting paid now, and teams can just put them up in nice places. That's how things happen.
I'm going to be honest, for Georgia fans out there, I put that up on Twitter as complete bait. That was very happy for Bear Alexander.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's living good.
People are going to complain
It's a
about
nice
this.
ass apartment.
Yeah, and people are going to complain. I know the lights do keep changing. I see it now. I thought you were just going crazy. I was going to try to actually gaslight you.
Somebody responded to one of them and said, Jack Mack let me out of the basement. It's been 2 months. What does that even mean?
I think that means that you keep people in your basement.
Very.
But this is Fat Rat Cowboy. By the
Okay.
way, Fat Rat Cowboy, I live on the 25th floor. I don't have a basement.
Jack is on one today.
All right, what were you going to say?
I love it.
Bear Alexander has a nice
Oh,
apartment.
well, this is going to be one of those arguments that, like, all the old people are going to be like, oh, well, when I was in school, my kid had to live in a dorm and share a bathroom with 50 people. Well, I'm sorry. That's not the way that it is anymore.
That sucked. Colorado, it looked like there were some reports. Outkick had it. A couple of people had it, where Colorado looks like they might be leaning towards returning to the Big 12 at some point.
The Pac-12 is going to be very interesting moving forward.
We can talk about this at length next week because hopefully it'll flesh itself out.
What the fuck is going on?
Well,
out there?
people need this room. Anyway, Colorado in the Big 12 is how it ought to be. I think they should be there, and I think Nebraska should go to the Big 12 too because that's where they belong. Anyway, now we'll end on this. Last week we had 2 clips go viral about Georgia, and both times were very reasonable takes about Georgia. The first one was a stadium take, which it does invite conversation, argument, and it is confrontational. So I get why they would say, "Oh, our stadium's actually better than that."
And hand up, I said Stanford. I very much regretted that because it negated my whole argument. I still stand by it. It is not a top 5 SEC stadium.
Yeah. And guys,
Continue.
she's a woman. What do you expect from her?
You're an asshole.
What?
It's a day.
I just had a baby, okay?
Okay, how long is this gonna go?
I'm sleep
baby's
deprived.
12. Baby's in Little League. Okay. And the other clip that got Georgia fans talking and had them in my mentions telling me I was an idiot and it was me saying, boy, I think college football is more interesting when team players, 5-star players, go to more schools than just Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State.
They hated that.
I used the Georgia as an example because they're the best team in the country right now, the best program. They get the best players. And they lost their minds. They said I was an idiot. I was doing this. I was doing that. It made me realize one thing. And this is not a shot at Georgia fans. It's a shot at all college football fans. College football is my favorite sport, and it's the best sport in America. But it is a toxic poison that rots people's brains. It is, whether you're an Oklahoma fan, you're an Alabama fan, you're a Georgia fan, if somebody says something even mildly irritating about your school, you hate that person. That person's a hack. That person doesn't deserve their platform. That person should go to hell. That person just is sad. No, sometimes not everything about your program is the greatest thing ever. Sometimes if you're Kansas State fans and I say Kansas has a good coach, you don't have to put your ass on your shoulders and be bitches for a week. Sometimes if you're Oklahoma fans, it's okay to not be elite one year. Sometimes if you're Georgia fans, it's okay for me to say, hey, maybe Dylan Raiola, it would be more interesting for college football if he went to Nebraska, who needs a savior. I don't know why that offended people. College football fans, not Georgia fans, not Alabama fans, not Oklahoma fans, college football fans as a whole are the most sensitive baby back bitches in America. Me included, her included, him included, she included. All of us need to get the fuck over it. It's pathetic.
Devil's advocate.
God damn it.
We don't want to get the fuck over it, or college football wouldn't be as emotional and fun as it is. Because
cool.
everything that we do, and we cry, and we bitch, and we scream, and we argue, while most of the time it's delusional. All of us in here are delusional. While most of the time we get very sensitive and very emotionally attached. That's why college football is the best.
2 weeks ago, we sat on this show. I argued why Kirby Smart has supplanted Nick Saban as the #1 coach in America.
Which I disagree with.
I got 2 replies and 1 quote tweet from the entire Georgia fan base.
Exactly.
The other day, we put out, I think Dylan Raiola would be more interesting in Nebraska because he would be their savior as opposed to Georgia where he's just another guy. We got 150 quote tweets. I got every name in the book. I got DMs telling me to go kill myself. Like that's the difference in college football.
The tweet has 1 million views.
The tweet has 1 million views. 2 weeks ago, I said you had the best coach in America. You said nothing.
That has 50,000
Last week,
views.
I said a 5-star quarterback should have gone to Nebraska because it's more interesting. You told me to go kill myself.
I would like to say there should be a line drawn in the emotional outburst. Maybe we should draw it before telling people to kill themselves.
Well, sure, but that's not the point. But that's just it's just if you say an overwhelming positive about a team, they will nod their head. If you say a minor negative, they will storm your gates with pitchforks.
Well, and your bigger point...
And that's not just them. That's Alabama, that's Oklahoma, it's everybody.
It's everybody. And your bigger point about just the Georgia situation was you sat here and said you have the best coach, you have the best players, you have the best team, and then you say one little thing that's negative. At the time, it was the stadium, and they're so mad about it, and then I add to the fire by saying it the wrong name. The thing is that you could say they had the best stadium and had the worst coach, and they would hate you equally. It's like, unless you have every single thing number 1 on your list, you're their enemy.
To explain, this is the last thing we'll talk about, to explain the light bulb moment, Jack put out we had the stadium tweet on Saturday, or Friday or Saturday.
Friday, then Saturday I put it out.
And then on Sunday, he put out the Georgia Dylan Raiola tweet. I texted him, and I do this sometimes. I texted him and said, "We just had Georgia yesterday. Yeah. Delete it. I don't want to deal with that shit
today."
And
I just said, I'll take it down.
He said, "I'll take it down." 30 seconds later, I said, "No, actually leave it." He'd already deleted it, but I said, "Leave it up. Just fucking let's just do it." And that's when the light bulb went off in me. I was like,
"Who cares?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?"
And that reaction was going to come. It didn't matter to the school, and we put it out the next day, and it still did just as well. It was probably better to space them out a little bit.
Yeah.
That clip, which Noah made, I made it very well. I knew it was going to piss some people off, but it pissed Georgia fans off in a good way because I thought people were going to misconstrue and be like, "Oh, you're telling a kid where to go," which is not what you were saying.
No.
You were saying you want talent to disperse a little bit.
And then my favorite thing was when Georgia fans would quote tweet it or reply and say, "Yeah, you never said this about Alabama." And there I went.
Yep.
Somebody, some fan sent it to me. It was me 2 years ago saying it about Alabama.
Yes.
And I said, "Here you go." I sure did. It remains whoever's at the top of the sport. I think college football would be better if the top 100 players went to 25 schools as opposed to 3. I don't know how that's a bad argument.
I think my favorite part of it, what we were getting tagged in the same tweets, was that we've never been to games in Athens. Well, you've never been there. How would you know?
Yeah.
It's like we've both been to plenty.
Another favorite part there is when I would say, "Yeah, I have," and they said, "Well, which game?" Mississippi State 2017, Tennessee 2016. "Yeah, but you haven't been in the last couple of years." Okay, so you're telling me
also
you have to be the best team in the country to be loud? That's bitch made.
Also, when they said, they were like, "Oh, Holly Saunders," or said that against Arkansas at noon, it was louder than Penn State's whiteout. First of all, she had probably like one of those sound meters that you can
that are fake.
Those are like they can be fake. It depends where you are.
She's standing from the student section, the band
versus not. And then she was like, "That's almost as loud as the New York subway." I'll be honest. I've been in some college football stadiums that are much louder than New York subway. The New York subway isn't that loud.
Tiger Stadium hurt my ears.
Yeah, like the subway comes down, it hurts a little bit, but it's like, all right.
And again, it goes back to what we were saying about Baker Mayfield. Just because we're saying it's not number 1 does not mean it's not loud. The amount of people that said, you guys said it's quiet as fuck. I never said that.
Josh Pate actually has every stadium in the SEC as his number 1 stadium in the SEC.
When I saw him quote tweet and say he was going to defend it, I was like, oh, Brandon is going to
love
love
you
this.
Josh. We love you, Josh.
I love the guy, but I'll tell you, I texted him immediately. I say, You're just pandering. You are
And
pandering.
then he goes, "Why, Brandon?"
He's pandering. Yeah, I texted him, you were pandering. And then he just, I don't know if he sent me an emoji or something. I was like, everybody can't be the best thing in the world. But anyway.
The text message, our group text, what you guys were saying, what did you say? Like,
I said that Josh Pate has every stadium, all 14 stadiums in the SEC, inside his top 5 SEC stadium.
And you said something about the playoff, just incredible. Again, Georgia fans, if you have everything nice except for one thing that's not people's number one, you're going to be okay. You're going to live.
We're going to end the show right there. Thank you, Colin, for sitting in. We appreciate it.
Colin.
I'd like, before we go, you're going to end the show, and you're going to end it by thanking them for coming back.
Thank you, High Noon, for coming back.
We love you.
We love you so much. We're very excited. Go get the 700 milliliter cans of peach and pineapple. Ooh, yum.
And, man, it's about to be pool season.
Oh, beach, boats.
It's the one rule. I'll bring home High Noon for my boyfriend to go golfing. I was like, you have to take the peach out. Give me the peach. You can take the rest of the 6.
There you
One
go.
rule.
We love you, High Noon.
That is Unnecessary Roughness.